baseball world to their ballpark.
It's official. Harry Caray has sung "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Bobby Thigpen, the South Sider, is in relief of Brett Saberhagen. Saberhagen could stand to win this ball game if Thigpen et al. Can hold the lead. Thigpen leads the major leagues in saves with 27.
And Saberhagen, 2 perfect innings with 1 strikeout, and Thigpen is only the 4th pitcher used by Tony La Russa this evening. Thigpen Tower, Thigpen Power. The American League in good shape, leading 2-0, and the breeze still, well, has changed around a little bit, blowing in toward center, toward home plate.
By the way, that stolen base by Kelly Gruber, the American League's 4th stolen base, that ties an all-star record, and Lance Parrish is now the catcher. So Parrish and Thigpen, the new battery.
But don't discount these National League hitters, starting with Will Clark.
Bobby Thigpen's teammate at Mississippi State.
And they battle one another. Clark is 1 for 2 in this game. And ball 1. Bottom of the 7th. 2-0, the American League. There's a strike as he keeps it away from the left-handed batter.
In college, Thigpen hit behind Will Clark. Clark hit 4th, Thigpen 5th at Mississippi State. Rafael Palmeiro is the 3-hole hitter. And as we said earlier, Jeff Brantley, who was in this game earlier, and we'll try to get a report on Brantley and the condition of Jeff.
Thigpen, 2 balls and a strike, and makes it 3-1. This pitcher is from St. Petersburg, Florida. Chatting with him the other day, and lives very near the dog track down there, Derby Lane, which we frequent during spring training. Will Clark trying to get on base for the 2nd time. Thrilling play into the top of the 7th, and now Clark hits it on the ground to Ozigian. Wide, but out at first base to start the bottom of the 7th.
Ozigian, long noted for his glove in the American League, is hitting .330 this year. Product of Walt Reniak. He can pick it.
12 in a row have been retired by American League pitchers now. Ozigian throws out Will Clark, and Tim Wallach bats for the first time this evening. And a little bouncer the pitcher has to cover. And does for the 2nd out as he took the throw from Fielder. That's 13 National Leaguers in a row set down. What's Pat O'Brien doing here in the 7th inning?
Jack, I'm with Harry Caray, and Harry, you sound pretty good.
Why not? Why not? Hey, Jack and Tim, how you doing? You should be up here with me in the announcer's booth with my good friend Wayne Messmer.
Let me ask you this. What does it mean to Chicago to have the All-Star game right here in your Wrigley Field?
Oh, it's great. Well, look at this ballpark. Look at these people, greatest fans in the world. And if you're going to play an all-star game in an intimate ballpark where everybody's your friend almost, you can tell the expression on everybody's face. This would be it. Look where Canseco hit one yesterday. 455 feet.
Harry could talk about baseball all day here. We're going to throw it back to Jack. Hey, thanks, Harry.
Good to see you, Pat.
Darryl Strawberry is up with a 1-1 count, 2 out, and unfortunately for the National League, nobody on base as they trail 2-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Foul ball puts Strawberry in the hole. 1-2. What a resurgence Darryl has had this season.
In his last 100 at-bats, he's hitting .394 with 13 home runs. He has been the main reason the Mets have surged.
Thigpen has him set up. Got him. 14 National Leaguers in a row have been retired. Now we have played 7 innings. And the American League's on top, 2-0.
CBS Sports coverage of the 61st All-Star Game is sponsored by Today's Chevrolet, who invite you to see why nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America. The companies of the Prudential. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock. And by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light.
Hey, this game isn't over. We're going into the 8th inning, and you can never count on a victory here in Wrigley Field until it's nailed down. This is Randy Myers, who is the 8th National League pitcher of the night. The new first baseman is Bobby Bonilla, with Will Clark out of the game at the moment. And there's Bobby. He brought the first baseman's glove. He knew this figured in the plans. The leadoff batter is George Bell. Bell is 0 for 1 with a strikeout in this game. The American League tries to get more. 1-1 the count. On deck, it's Kirby Puckett. We'll have fun watching him. American League sitting pretty at the moment, 2-0, top of the 8th. And we're sitting pretty now weather-wise. No more rain. Bell hits it high in the air for Strawberry. Ball carrying a little bit differently now. There's 1 out. You know, we're looking at Randy Myers. He used to be with the Mets. John Franco is now with the Mets. Used to be with Cincinnati.
Last year, Randy Myers had a mustache. Now he doesn't, but this year, John Franco has the mustache. So that is genuine. Nice going, guys. That's great. That is genuinely trading places.
I wonder if those two did that on purpose.
How about that? They were traded for one another, and here they are in the All-Star game together.
Batting is Kirby Puckett. There's a strike from Randy Myers. Myers has 17 saves, and look at those figures. A typical Kirby Puckett year, and for a while he was the highest paid player in baseball, but not long. Pops it up foul, and it comes back and out of play.
Kirby Puckett was the highest paid player in baseball for about 24 hours last winter. As a matter of fact, the highest paid player changed 9 times last year. American League's leading hitter last year, and only the second right-handed hitter since 1970, second right-handed hitter to lead the American League in hitting.
Myers is throwing 90 miles an hour. He's ahead on the count. Ball 1, 1-2.
Free swinging Kirby Puckett. Not up there to walk, especially in his hometown.
Gets a base hit. When you can hit, you can hit. Oh, ball got past Strawberry. And Puckett with 1 out is going to end up at third base, and that's important. Strawberry gets the ball back in. Probably a single and an error. And the fans here get after Strawberry. They don't like any of the Met players, not just Darrell.
Well, they were cheering Darrell in the 6th inning, or in the 7th inning, because he made the throw home. They were booing him yesterday. This ball gets by Strawberry. It hasn't been scored. It is a hit and an error, a single and an error on Darrell Strawberry.
Puckett's a good mutter. He shoots around to third base with 1 out. The infield has to come in. And here is ball 1 to Cecil Fielder, who is batting for the 2nd time this evening. Flied out to center his first time. So a base hit by Puckett. 2-0. The American League already leading. And the count goes to ball 2. Fielder takes ball 3. It was a single and an error charged to Strawberry, and that was the first error of the evening. And you can bet your bottom dollar that Cecil is going to be swinging on 3-0, and Myers knows that. but he took ball 4. There have been 2, 4, 5. That's the 6th walk given to the American League to go with their 7 hits. And we have a pinch hitter with men at first and third with 1 out. There's Roger Craig trying to figure out how to stop this American League attack. Alan Trammell is the pinch hitter. This is the first at bat for the Detroit Tigers shortstop. Batting here in the 8th inning.
Mentioned through the 80s, you talk about the gifted shortstops in the American League. Cal Ripken Jr., Robin Yount when he played there for the Brewers, and Alan Trammell. Trammell the MVP in 1984. Robin Yount the MVP in 1982 as a shortstop.
National League wants the double play ball. Trammell wants at least the fly ball. There's a strike from Myers.
As a matter of fact, Cal Ripken Jr. sandwiched in between there in 1983. So it was Yount, Ripken, and Trammell. 3 consecutive MVP shortstops in the American League, 82, 3, and 4.
It's been a strong position. First and third, 1 out. Trammell hits a pop fly for the second baseman, Alomar. 2 out as Roberto takes it down. Now the National League can keep the deficit to 2 runs. Here's a fellow who played a big part in the run scoring. It was a base hit by Sandy Alomar in the top of the 7th, a pinch hit by this batter, Lance Parrish, and a 2-run single by Franco in the 7th. First and third, 2 out, and a strike.
Parrish has made it clear that he loves the American League. He signed as a free agent with the Philadelphia Phillies, played over there for 2 years, was unsuccessful in the National League, back in the American League, and here another all-star assignment.
Count goes to strike 2 on Parrish. The base hit by Franco that drove in the runs was a double, 2-run double. And he subsequently was thrown out at the plate to end the 7th. And now the American League with a 2-out threat in the 8th. Pop fly foul near the stands and tantalizingly out of reach, only 2 rows back. Bobby Bonilla couldn't get close enough. So Parrish has another chance to add to the 2-0 lead here in the 8th inning.
That foul ball perilously close to the commissioner's seat. If you remember in last year's World Series in Game 4, Will Clark toppling over the railing and into the lap of Commissioner Fay Vincent. The commissioner, he's going to sign the ball. All right.
The American League has already left 7 and hit into 2 double plays. But they lead 2-0 in the 8th. Parrish gets this ball up in the air, it'll ride out, but the pitch is in the air for ball 1. Over at third base, running the bases, it is Kirby Puckett. And on at first, Cecil Fielder. And Lance Parrish, the batter. 1-2 the count. A late swing and a foul by Parrish, who just stays up there with that foul ball. The American League has out-hit the National League 7-1.
Fastball on the outside corner off the mask of Socia, the glove in the mask.
And another foul. Now the wind has changed, and this is the way the hitters had been hoping it would be blowing all night. It's blowing out toward left and into left center. And when we started the game, it was blowing toward the right field foul line. It might have affected the hitting early. But for the most part, it's been an overpowering American League pitching staff. 1-2 to Parrish, and another foul. First and third, 2 out, 2-0. The American League on top. We're in the visitors' half of the 8th inning. Socia's caught the entire game. Myers throws high and away, 2-2. Myers reaches down to get a little dry sand for his pitching hand. He is the 8th National League pitcher tonight. And ball 3. Now the runner will go from first. That's Fielder. And Bobby Bonilla is now going to drop behind him. Three and 2, and Fielder will go with the pitch with 2 out. He walked him, and the bases are loaded. First base umpire said he did not swing. So Julio Franco comes up with the bases loaded, 2 out.
Well, the last time Julio was the batter, it was 1st and 3rd and nobody out. Rob Dibble on the mound in relief of Jeff Brantley, an 0-2 fastball away. And predictably, Franco hits it to right field. Not something you could really call a mistake by Dibble, I don't suppose. A little bit too much of the plate, but you got to give credit to Franco. Good piece of hitting.
Well, he's driven in 2. He'd like to get some more. Bases loaded, 2 out. There have been 7 walks handed out by the National League hurlers. Myers just missed with that one. Third base, it is Puckett. Down at second base, Fielder. And the runner at first is Parrish. And the batter, Julio Franco. Ball 2. Associate of the mound of Myers has walked 2 and given up a base hit to Puckett in this inning. American League hasn't scored here in the 8th, but they have this base-loaded 2-out opportunity.
With Dibble pitching, the outfield was shaded around toward right center, and Len Dykstra, even though a left-hander's out there now, is still around toward right center.
Franco on 2-0. Took a strike, 2-1.
Sometimes the velocity of a pitcher determines how you play the hitter. And because Myers throws so hard, the outfield, a tendency to shift around toward the right part of the outfield.
Franco could blow this game wide open. He flies it into right, and Strawberry has a beat on it. And the inning is over. And now the American League has left 10, but they lead 2-0 in the bottom of the 8th. Getting late for the National League as we look down from the Goodyear blimp. National League has only 1 hit, and that was a first-inning single by Will Clark. Goodyear people with a long evening up in the rain clouds. We appreciate the pictures they have sent down to us. We have a new pitcher. It's Chuck Finley. He's the Angels' top winner, and he leads the American League in earned run average, 2.54 and a record of 11-4. Pretty good man to protect the lead, Tim.
His first All-Star appearance, he made last year's team, but he didn't appear.
And here batting for the first time is Bobby Bonilla. Gruber with the play to his left, and he throws him out. You know, that's 15 National League batters in a row who have been retired.
The American League pitching has just dominated tonight. You saw Wallach a while ago get ready to field a ground ball, and now it's Kelly Gruber. The National League really, I mean, this offense hasn't hit a lot of balls hard tonight.
Here is Greg Olson, and Tim McCarver and I agreed before the game that this fellow is probably the most bubbly of all the All-Stars who are here. He is the one most impressed. He's had a tough career again getting to the big leagues. He was a 6-year minor league free agent, and now the Atlanta Braves are reaping the benefits of his production. And he's hit 6 home runs, driven in 25 runs, batting .289, and he's done the job behind the plate for them.
He missed the first 6 days of the season. Ernie Witt, John Russell were the catchers. Russell was released, and then the Braves drafted Phil Lombardi from the Mets.
Strike 2 the count.
Lombardi quit, and they called Greg Olson back up, so they really went through 4 catchers before they got to Olson. Here he is now. He's an all-star.
You
great story.
And they also had Jody Davis down there with Atlanta at the start of the year. Olson in the hole, however, and he strikes out as Finley turned the ball over and gets his first strikeout, and that's 16 in a row set down by American League hurlers.
Talking to American League hitters, they say that Chuck Finley has as wicked a split finger fastball as any pitcher in the American League. And that's what Olson went down on. I mean, that was a hard, vicious, that was a downer. Finley 6'6", 212.
Only LaRusso can afford to look a bit smug now. 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. American League leading 2-0.
Here's that pitch once again to Greg Olson with a count 1-2. Watch this ball go down. Wow.
Here is Barry Bonds trying to figure out this hurler. 2 balls, no strikes the count with 2 out. A wonderful season for Barry Bonds, and his dad is here, Bobby. And this is the first at bat for Bonds. Or the second at bat. He's 0 for 1. Fly to right his first time, and that's ball 3. There are 2 out. 16 in a row have been set down. Finley pumps a strike in there. This season of his, 11-4, no accident. He was 16-9 last year. He is 6'6", weighs 212. He can bring it. And he throws it low and walks Bonds and opens the door a little bit with 2 out here in the 8th. And guess who's up? One of the Cubbies. There's Tony La Russa. Not quite so comfortable now as he was a moment ago as Dunston stands in, and the wind is blowing out toward left, and Dunston could tie this. Oh, that'd be wonderful, wouldn't it, to tie it and have some extra innings here tonight?
I don't know if the National League pitching staff would hold out. They only have 2 more pitchers left after Randy Myers.
Runner at first. Bonds a good base stealer. Ball 1. Well, he probably won't be gambling with 2 men out and his club 2 runs behind. He has stolen 24 bases.
Yeah, but no way he runs right here. You got to let him hit.
The initials on the back of the helmet of Sean Dunston are the first initials of his 2 daughters. I've chatted with Sean about his family, and he is really thrilled with the life that he is leading right now. Runner at first, 2 out. 1 to the shortstop, Guillen. Force out, and the inning is over, and still the National League has only 1 hit, and they still trail 2-0.